Okay, so the one small thing I wanted to touch on was that when is computational design actually useful? I can think of two reasons. So the first reason why computational design is really good at efficiency is because if it takes you, say, 5 days to do something, or maybe even 5 hours to do something, you can actually write a script that changes that into maybe a form that you can sort of fill in or a button that you can press, and that will cut down your 5 hours of time into, say, half an hour. There's still maybe some cleaning involved and some tweaking later on, but essentially you're cutting down what used to be a really manual process into scripts. And this is actually what we know as automation. So computational design can help you build sort of these custom automations for that specific project or that specific workflow that you're thinking of. Right, so the second most useful thing about computational design is to do something that you physically cannot do manually. And a lot of times this has to do with modeling. So if you have like a really complex or complicated project, right? Things with a lot of spirals, things with a lot of circles involved, things with a lot of curves. You can definitely do that manually. You can force it to do it, but computational design, if you build it through sort of like algorithmic tools like Grasshopper and stuff, you can have a lot better time with it. Overall, you're able to deliver a higher quality result compared to doing it manually. Plus, again, with the whole computational design stuff, it gives you the parametric workflows, it gives you the ability to make changes that are pretty quick. Those are just things that you can't do manually. Right, so even though computational design is really good at gaining efficiencies through either tools or scripts or just doing things that you can't do manually, realistically, the biggest problem with computational design is just figuring out where it fits, right? Because most people think about processes and workflows and they do things manually, but the issue is that they don't really understand where computational design can play a role. So even though I've highlighted kind of two reasons for that, finding where it fits is still going to be the biggest problem here. Thanks for watching. I'm sorry it's going to be a bit awkward. This is kind of my first time doing this. I still think there's a lot of value in talking through some of the points for computational design, especially versus writing, because sometimes talking through ideas is going to be a lot better. But I promise it'll get better. Thanks for sticking around.